Good morning, Western Washington, and happy Thursday. I'm Matthew Fab with Western Washington Weather, and today we're going to take a look at the forecast for the next few days, including our system moving through today that's going to bring more rain, potential thunderstorms, and some wind to the area. So starting here with our satellite imagery, you can see lots of clouds across Western Washington this morning. That is because of this system that's moving through the area today. Those winds will increase as we go through the day, and we'll have more showers that could bring some thunderstorms as well. Taking a look at the radar, you can see that first round of showers moving through the area this morning, and then more stuff coming in off the coast that will move through here in a few hours, and that's just going to be what continues all the way through the day before those showers start to shift and move southward and out of the area as we go into Friday. Taking a look at 24-hour precipitation, you can see just over a half inch for most of the metro area, except up here in North Seattle where we did have a pretty big cell move through last night. Those totals are now over an inch to nearly an inch and a half there. You can see the coast and the Olympics getting up toward an inch. Some of the slopes of the Olympics, they're getting up toward 4 to 5 inches. And then up here in parts of the Cascades, you can see over 2 inches already, and that continues all the way up in the North Cascades there. Now taking a look at the overall pattern, you can see we have this system. This is what's causing our front and everything going through today. That moves through and moves out of the area by the time we get to Friday. Those showers will diminish and push off to the east. And take a look at this huge ridge that builds here, bringing a really nice weekend to the area. And that will also continue into Monday, bringing us some nice weather. Then we may have a brief system try to move through the area on Tuesday, and then you can see right out here toward the end of the run that a ridge starts to push off to the east a little bit, and we do get some more troughing moving toward the area. That would be about the middle of next week, so stay tuned for more on that. Taking a look at our precipitation type map here, you can see we have all the rain moving through the area today, moderate to heavy at times. That snow remains up in the North Cascades. And then that snow level does start to drop as we go into Friday and Saturday there, or Thursday night into Friday. And then you can see a little bit more snow up on the North Cascades Highway, maybe up towards Stevens Pass, a tiny bit at Snoqualmie, and then you see these showers that continue across Western Washington into Friday night, and then those diminish. We're dry Saturday, dry Sunday. We have this brief system try to move through Monday afternoon and evening, bringing a little bit of rain to the area, but not all that much, and some showers may continue into Tuesday night, but other than that, mostly dry across Western Washington after Friday. Taking a look at the simulated radar on the high-resolution rapid refresh model, you can see as we go through this morning, a few rounds of showers, more showers move in around midday into the afternoon, maybe heavy at times there. You can see some heavy segments in there around Seattle and Tacoma, and that continues as we go into the evening all the way into Friday morning. There you can see more. There's a little bit of a convergence zone setting up here over Snohomish County, and then some more heavy bands moving south across maybe parts of Seattle and Tacoma over toward Hoquiam there. As we go into Friday morning, those showers will diminish, their convergence zone diminishes, and by the time we get to early Saturday morning, we are clear across Western Washington. So total rain here on the high-resolution rapid refresh model showing about a half inch to an inch from Seattle southward toward Portland. Areas north of Seattle likely getting about a third of an inch to a half of an inch. And then you can see the coast likely getting up to another inch of rain here. Mountains getting anywhere from 1 to 4 more inches with this. So definitely getting some good rain up there and mountain snow at the higher elevations. European model shows a similar story here through Friday night. You can see a little bit more rain maybe showing up there around Seattle. With the European model there, but still up to about 1 inch for the lowlands, up to 2 inches for the coast, and up to 3 inches for the mountains. And then looking at the mountain snow here real quick, you can see Stevens Pass getting about 3 to 4 inches, same as White Pass, Snoqualmie Pass getting an inch or two, and then the North Cascades likely picking up a foot to 2 feet of snow there. Same with Mount Rainier, Mount Baker, all that, as those higher elevations get a little bit more snow with this system. Now taking a look at wind, this is going to be something you'll notice today. Take a look at the coast with gusts of 55 to 60 miles per hour possible. Some of those more inland coastal communities like Aberdeen, Raymond, and stuff like that, likely 45 to 55 miles per hour. Still pretty decent wind. You can see the northwest interior likely gusting 45 to 50 miles per hour here, including Whidbey Island, Bellingham, and the San Juans. And then from about Everett down towards Seattle, Tacoma, and Olympia, and then further down toward Portland, expect gusts of 35 to 45 miles per hour, strongest near the water as usual. Now taking a look at this on a high-resolution forecast, this is the high-resolution rapid refresh model. You can see again gusts of 45 to 60 miles per hour on the coast, strongest there around the Long Beach Peninsula and down toward Westport and Ocean Shores. Gusty winds in the northwest interior as well, 45 to 50 miles per hour, maybe some gusts up toward 55 miles per hour for the San Juans and parts of southern Vancouver Island. And then you can see in the lowlands from Everett down toward Seattle, Tacoma, Olympia, and Portland, you see those gusts of 40 to 45 miles per hour, maybe some areas around 35 miles per hour, strongest near the water as usual. So be prepared for some gusty winds today. Shouldn't do too much in the way of damage because we've already had a lot of stuff move through this year, but there could be some strong winds out there, especially on the coast there, and even down on the Oregon Oregon coast. You can see some gusts over 60 miles per hour. So definitely some gusty winds on the coast and northwest interior. More typical windy day for the lowlands, but still could be noticeable. And then taking a look at the waves, we talked about the coastal flooding threat yesterday. We have low pressure and king tides and big waves as we go into this afternoon, which could bring up to 2 to 3 feet of coastal flooding. Pretty significant for the Washington coast. That's why the National Weather Service has issued the highest tier of coastal flood warning there on the coast. You can see as we go through this afternoon and evening, those maximum breaking waves are 35 to 40 feet, and that will continue as we go into Friday. And then we start to diminish that swell as we go into the weekend there. You can see by the time we get to Saturday and Sunday, we are back to a typical light swell across western Washington's coast there and down toward the Oregon coast as well. And then taking a look at high temperatures, you'll see a big trend here. So first of all, today, highs in the mid to upper 50s, just like yesterday. And then as we go into Friday, we cool down a little bit, highs in the low to mid 50s across the region. But take a look as that ridge builds in on Saturday. You have highs in the mid to upper 50s across the area, maybe a few low 60s out there. And then look at Sunday, one of the warmest November days in quite a while, really looking like it's going to be nice out there. Highs in the mid 60s for most of the lowlands, some areas in the low 60s, upper 50s in the northwest interior, even 60s on the coast. Going to be a really nice day out there. And then going into Monday, you can see will likely be with that system to our north there, the coast and the northwest interior, likely having highs in the low to mid 50s, but for areas from Everett southward, likely having highs in the upper 50s to mid 60s yet again, before we do start to cool down across the region as we go into Tuesday, with highs dropping to the low to mid 50s across the area. And then going into our extended outlooks, this goes all the way out to the end of the week, or the end of the first portion of November. You can see still in the above average range for western Washington, and that's still above average precipitation. But again, it looks like we may shift the pattern a little bit more toward California, although in November, just near normal even means it's still wet for western Washington. So stay tuned for more on that as we go through the next couple of weeks. Thank you all very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe here to the Western Washington Weather YouTube channel, and then follow me on the Western Washington Weather Facebook group and on Twitter and Blue Sky. So the links to all of these are in the description below, and be sure to subscribe. So thank you all very much for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow.